Recording in progress.
All right. A hello might be nice, but good morning. How you guys doing? It's another installment of your favorite mental health and awareness podcast with me, myself, and Danny. Because there's two of us.
What up?
You know, there's two of me. And there's two of us. But this week we're going to be covering dreams, what they are, why we dream, and then we're going to even go over some of the most common dream themes and just kind of have fun with that. But I figured before we get into all that stuff, all that dreamy stuff, why don't we catch up with what's going on with some current events? You want to take the lead on that, Danny?
Yeah, dude. Well, first off, thank you for stumbling upon our little podcast, little projects here. Coop, it was a pleasure to have you here in my screen. Dear friend Coop over here. Yeah, dude, life is good over here. You know, just teaching. We're almost done with the second month, or we're almost in 8 weeks of school. So I can't believe school is already like,
damn, 2
8
months.
weeks. Yeah, dude, we're almost done with our first grading period already. So it's it's moving quite along. Yeah, dude, what the hell?
That's
I feel like
crazy.
I was just bitching about. Yeah, dude. Other than that, it looks like both of us. I mean, if the audience doesn't know this already, they have to know. But we are both lovers of the of music and live music as well.
Yeah.
So it's funny that we both went to different concerts this weekend. On Friday, myself and my good friend Mr. Ray Avila, we went to a show up in where's in Oakland, right off Telegraph. Actually, we saw this kind of like punk hardcore band called FiddleHead.
FiddleHead.
Yeah, really cool band. Super cool. The singer used to be in a hardcore band called Half Heart. I'm not sure if you hold those guys, but they were like huge in the hardcore straight edge scene.
Yeah.
Now the dude is like, he's my age. He's like late 30s. And he's also a history teacher, but he has his side project, which is a hardcore band. So we were kind of talking. He was talking about how like he got up Friday morning at 4:00 in the morning, flew to Oakland, played the show, gonna play like a quick weekend tour in the West Coast.
Yeah.
And then on Sunday, as soon as the show was over, he was gonna take a red eye back to Boston, where he was gonna go teach yesterday. So hopefully he got some good sleep Monday night.
Jeez. Wow. So same,
Yes.
me and that guy, not that we're, I was kind of running on fumes all weekend too. That's kind of crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, it was super cool. I thought I was gonna survive the mosh pit. We were just chilling in the back, and then they play like their last song, and I just couldn't. I couldn't control myself. So, in typical Danny way, I made my way all the way to the front, pushing and shoving people all the way, doing my little, I won't say hardcore dancing, but like the little, you know how people dance in the pit for some reason, but not like hardcore dancing, but kind of like they're rocking out,
like a
kind of thing. Yeah, like maybe a two-step here, maybe like a two-step over here or something like that. So I was doing that, almost made it up to the front, and then legit last 5 seconds of the song, somebody decided to crowd surf. I didn't freaking see it, and I just felt either a foot or someone's fist hitting me in the back of my head, and it hurt, but I survived. So I'm like, fuck, I almost made it without getting punched at a show. And
yeah, but how fun would that be?
In my age, is very successful, but
yeah, but I mean, you're not 85.
Really,
you know, you could take a punch.
Even then, dude, it's like you really didn't go to a hardcore show or show period if you really didn't mosh or like stay in the back. You have to kind of.
Yeah, I think that's part of it. You got to have at least soreness, right?
Yeah.
At least be like, oh man, I should have done that last night. It's part of the.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
No regrets.
No
regrets.
But that's what I mean. That's part of. It's like going to the gym. You want to be sore, you know?
Yeah, dude. So that's how you did good work or a good job. And then It's funny because on the way back we stopped at your old stomping grounds in the good old
Oh,
Hayward, California.
oh, okay. I was gonna say
Yeah,
I've got a bunch of East Bay stomping grounds.
yeah. So yeah, we stopped at Hayward and we went to this little spot. You might know it. House of Pizza or Pizza
Oh,
House, one of those.
Pizza House. House of
It's like in
House of
downtown.
Pizza.
It's like downtown Hayward, like
Oh, it's on
right off
B
like
Street, probably.
yeah, like right around this from City Hall, around like the Safeway or the
Oh
Lucky's,
yeah, yeah.
whatever.
I know what you're
Yeah,
talking about.
yeah,
That area. It's like Foothill or something.
yeah. So we went there like at midnight. The place isn't closed until like 3 in the morning, which I feel like more food places should not be closed until 3 in the morning. So that was cool. Picked up myself a little slice. I haven't ate there in quite a while, so it was cool and I introduced Ray into to the world of late night pizza eating, and he loved it. So it was a good alternative to In and Out, even though In and Out you can never go wrong with it after a show.
True, but it is nice to get a different food.
Oh yeah.
Well,
But
that's what I
dude,
like about the city because they got DNA. DNA is a really good pizza,
yeah, yeah. Oh dude,
and they're
rest
open
in
till I
peace
think
too.
2. But yeah, well, I guess they're
Yeah.
done, right?
Rest in peace
I
to
don't know.
Slims though.
Well, yeah, Slims, but I think DNA is still its own thing, so I think we're okay.
I maybe I haven't seen any shows come up that they're gonna play there, but I mean shows and tours are just barely kind of starting
Yeah.
all over again. So we shall see.
Yeah, and I think
But
what ended up happening with Slims is I bet you the owner just sold. That's what I think.
yeah, from what I read is that Slims was gonna be sold prior to like COVID-19. Just the COVID and the closure, it kind of just sped up the situation.
Well, hopefully someone else picks it up and turns it back into what it should be, which is a music
It
venue.
should, yes,
Keep it.
and more
I don't care who
independent
owns it, but just fucking,
and independent because I'm really tired of like
Well, yeah,
the
I mean,
monopoly in the music scene, dude.
but they wouldn't buy that. It's too small. I mean, it's not like Live Nation has any interest in buying that little shanty little jazz club.
Yeah,
Heroin soaked back room.
but you know what, dude? Like I went to this place in Oakland called the Starlight, something I don't know. It was like upstairs, super small. Like nothing super fancy or glorious, like no freaking like green room or anything like that.
Mm,
And the place was fucking packed, dude. The
yeah.
place was packed and it was great energy to it. It wasn't that big. It was like maybe the same size as the Slims, to be honest.
Yeah, Slims, I mean, Slims is not that big.
Like what, get 500 people maybe?
Yeah, if that. I mean, you're probably right. But that seems a little high.
Isn't it a lot? Yeah, maybe somewhere between a 200-300 realm.
Yeah, maybe. Because I'm trying to think. I think that sounds closer to right.
Yeah, I'm
Because
pretty
I'm like
sure
picturing like 500 people. Fuck, that'd be packed.
Yeah,
That'd be insane.
It's not like I don't have a
yeah,
computer
we could just
here.
Google it.
Slims capacity. Well, dude. Hey, you had an even more eventful weekend. You mind sharing?
No, I don't mind. So Friday, I took the day off of work and I drove. Which, by the way, let me just go break this down. I'm an idiot. I should have booked the flight out of Oakland, which is only 45 minutes from Tracy. I booked it out of Sac, thinking Sac was just far away from me as Oakland. It's an hour and a half, and
So okay.
So I had to get up at about. The flight was 9 a.m. Luckily, I thought originally it was 6, so I was fucking worried. I'm like, oh, I'll get up at 3:30, yay. So it was 9 a.m. So I got to get up at 5, which wasn't bad, and I got ready, drove out, went to Dunkin', got myself a nice little iced coffee.
Ooh.
And because I didn't smoke as much weed as I usually do in the mornings, man, that iced coffee fucked me up. Like I was not in my stomach, but like I was gacked. So I didn't even drink hardly any of it. I think it was just because I was amped. We get to By the way, Sacramento, pretty small airport. pretty fucking small. I mean, like way smaller than any airport in the Bay Area.
Okay. Maybe
I mean, even
as big as Burbank, maybe?
Yeah, I would say it's probably pretty much like one of those, like a smaller, like Burbank's probably a good example. Exactly. Okay. So we take SAC. It's like a smaller offshoot, and then we get to Des Moines. Oh well, actually, we go to Denver, then we get to Des Moines. But we get to Des Moines, and it is insane because it's the weather's great. It's kind of gloomy. It's maybe like a 65, but it's gloomy, so it looks kind of overcast. Not bad. But dude, no Ubers, no Lyfts available.
What?
No rental cars available. We're just stuck at the fucking airport, and then we're just in line for the taxi. That's all there is left. I couldn't rent a car. There's no bicycles. So,
it was all sold out or what?
Yeah, dude, there's nothing. I went on Enterprise's website. They wouldn't even let me book a car. They said no cars available. I tried minivans. I tried luxury cars. Nothing. So finally,
was it because of
I'm pretty
the
sure.
show
Also,
or just
it's like definitely that, but it's like it's still crazy to me that like we were at the fucking airport and couldn't get that doesn't make sense to me. Regardless of how small the town is, regardless of how busy people are, that's retarded. So then, just like how I was kind of a bonehead for making the reservations for the airport so far, that was like double the distance. My buddy books the hotel in a place that was a little cheaper, but it was about 30 miles fucking out of the way. So if we had a car, not a big deal. But Ubering to this fucking bumfuck town, they were like, no one wanted to take you. So it was just like, once again, it was just this fucking problem. So we found a loophole, which was basically if you use Lyft and you schedule your ride ahead of time, you just get first priority and you get it. It's weird. It's so weird. So we had to do that, and it ended up working fine. We went out the night before. We went to a nice little bar and restaurant, had some food, really good food. They kind of specialize more in the steak because it's all corn-fed animals and shit. So I'm like, okay, so steak houses, pretty much that's what you're getting. We did that, and then the next day we go, and that's when we load up, and then we got a lift down to the concert, which is in like a water balloon, fucking retarded, and hot air balloon field, water balloon field,
okay,
a hot air balloon field in Indianola. So it's basically like Woodstock. It's just the middle of nowhere.
Right.
We got there at 11. The show started at about 1:30. Well, the show started at noon, but we weren't really worried about till 1:45. We got there at 11, so we'd be there like in on time. We didn't get in till 1:55. So it was about
why?
It was almost a 4-hour. It was almost a 3-hour wait. I don't know. So here's the funny thing. So we're like, oh, okay. It was these insane lines. I'm thinking, okay, security's super strict. Whatever, that's fine. They should be. So I got all my weed on me, which by the way, weed is super illegal in Iowa. Like unless you have a medical thing, which I don't, because I don't need one here. So I get all my weed from Cali. I bring it there. No one says shit in the airport, by the way. This old lady got stopped for her lotion. And then my ass gets in with all these drugs. And then to make it even funnier, so I'm thinking like, oh man, shit, I'm going to have to like keister all this stuff because what the hell? I'm going to have to go through a metal detector. Like but I was just going to put it in my underwear, which is what I did. But the funny thing was, they had a VIP line that you had to pay money. So you're like, oh, you do the VIP line, you avoid all the bullshit. Well, there were so many fucking people, and they were taking so long that this fucking like roadie / kind of crackhead dude was like, here, go in this line, fuck it. And he opened it up, and we all went. But then I was thinking, I'm like, I said it out loud too, and I was already drinking, so it was kind of funny. But I was just like, yeah, well, that crackhead said we can go over here, and if he's wrong, I'm gonna go over there and smack him. And a few of these people thought it was funny because I called him just a crackhead, but whatever. He was just creepy.
Yeah.
And people are going through metal detectors. We get to the VIP line, and we're not VIP, but there literally is a guy with a wand that barely, I mean, I don't know. That guy might as well worked at Jamba Juice. Barely wands people just going through. I got in. I was kind of annoyed because said no outside food to drink. Knowing what happened and how things went, I would have brought food and drinks. So we missed some of turnstile. We get in. It's pretty cool. There's a beer tasting event. We do that for a couple hours, and then we get pretty tossed. But things get crazy because the beer lines took 3+ hours. They were not prepared.
Really?
They were not. And the fucked up thing is they were bottled. It wasn't like they're pouring them. It made no sense.
Yeah.
So they're the canned bottles, the aluminum bottles. 3 hours for people. 3 hours for people to get beer. And because there's a 2 bottle per person limit, they were taking so fucking long, they were letting each person buy 6. So it was just
a shit show, dude.
It was a shit show. People weren't drinking enough, and then they were drinking shit tons at once because then they were getting all their drinks. And then on top of that, I waited in line later because I'm kind of skipping the band stuff because I'm talking about this, but I waited in line later and I got I spent an hour during Slipknot to get food because I could watch them. Luckily, the way the stages are set up, you can watch and be engaged. The porta potties were all surrounding the whole thing, which might sound weird, but it was convenient because you didn't have this giant shit area. So like everyone had to migrate to it.
Yeah.
Just you could leisurely go to the bathroom when you needed to go, come back. It was fine. That was the one thing I thought was genius. But I was an hour in a waiting for food in this line, which was just a fucking shit show. Like I don't know why it was cash only for the food. The merch, everything else, they had card readers. The reason I'm bringing this up is because I waited 30 minutes in the line originally, and then I had to get out of line to go get cash, and then get back in line for another hour, and then have them tell me, we are sold out of food. Thank you guys for waiting. So then I'm like, okay, I'm not eating until later tonight. I didn't eat anything all day.
Yeah.
Luckily, I was like, I can't buy beer because everything's so fucked up. I can't eat food, so I'm like, I just kept going to the medical tent and getting the liquid death cans because the firemen were handing them out for free. So I'm like, well, that's nice, So then it was cool, but as far as that goes, it was a complete disaster for food and drinks. As far as bands go, everyone sounded really good.
There's just pros.
My opinion, Lamb of God sounded the best. Stole the show.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they were fucking amazing. I have such great videos.
They always put on a good show.
I've seen them countless times, and I don't think I've ever seen a bad performance ever. Like, they pretty much always either do really, really well or the best, and they did the best. Slipknot fans won't admit it, but they did the best.
Didn't we see Lamb of God in one of our Taste of Chaos?
Sounds of the Underground. I have the
okay.
I have the poster, and it's funny you bring that up because that is the total vibe that I got from this show. The only difference was I think Lamb of God came on a little later. It sounds, and it was a little dark.
Mm-hmm.
But this one was like almost twilight, so it was kind of cool because it was evening and it was kind of getting dark, but it was still kind of like the lights were shining more because it was kind of hazy. So it was really, really a good time. I got some really cool videos.
You shared some with me already. No
one was social distancing. Why would they? It's a fucking metal show.
Yeah.
I went in there. Hey, I didn't social distance either. I actually went into the pit. I had a good time. I didn't kill anyone. I didn't kill myself. I didn't kill anyone when I came back. I didn't get sick, so that's good. But no, it was a good show. Slipknot did really well. They played. I think their tribute to Joey and Paul was surfacing. They did also. They did also play Wait and Bleed. They don't usually play that one very often, so that was cool.
Mm-hmm.
And then they also admitted that they haven't played Heretic Anthem in a while. So they played that as well, which I thought was interesting because I'm like, I didn't know you cut that one out, but They have a lot of albums, so
Yeah, because I think it's funny because when we saw him at KNOTFEST here in the Bay Area, I remember they did Wait and Bleed, because I remember
when they played with Volbeat and
yeah,
Gojira,
in the little bridge part where he goes, we're gonna be in the next 5 years, fuck me, I'm all up. Oh wait, that's I'm sorry, that's Surfacing.
Yeah, no,
That's
they did
Wait and
play
Bleed.
Surfacing. I don't think they played Wait and Bleed. So
Okay,
you're right. You're
Then,
right. They played
yeah,
Surfacing,
you're
which
right. I had
at the
I had
time
my
was
Slipknot songs.
which at the time Surfacing was huge because they hadn't played that song live since like I want to say 2004 or 2005.
Because I remember him saying, instead of saying we're going to be in the next 5 years, he was saying we're going to be in the next 15 or 20 years or something, because that's like the length of, at the time, it was like the length of their self-titled, or like them as a band, 20 years or something.
So it was pretty epic. They played Wait and Bleed. They opened with Sick, so that was kind of cool.
Oh, nice.
Old school. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Hella good. Like it kind of gets the whole thing going. And it was kind of like a throwback to when I first got into them. Because when I first got into them, Iowa was the newest record. So they were heavily throwing that out there, but then there were also a lot of songs from the first record. So it's always fun to see them, and then I went and fucked around during Vermilion because it's not my favorite. But
yeah,
you got to play songs like that because it lets people get up, go to the bathroom, and I'm okay with it.
It's funny you say that because I remember in my memories, it came up that I went to see Blink-182 a couple years ago, like 10 or 12 years ago.
Yeah.
And I remember thinking to myself also, like, I'm seeing Blink after like having 2 or 3 beers. And I think it was either during I Miss You, or
I was just thinking Miss You. That's so great.
Yeah,
yeah.
Like either during I Miss You or the other one that goes or Always.
Yeah.
I think during one of those songs, I can't remember, I'm like, I can survive without listening to a song live. Like I went to the bathroom and it was I'm like, it's fucking great because there's like no one in the bathroom at that time because everybody's like seeing the main show.
Well, and those songs are going to be a lot of chicks are going to want to stay for them, and dudes are going to stay with the girls. So you're not even going to have to worry about dudes yet.
I remember I went as soon as they started those songs, and I mean, Blink songs are like fucking 3 minutes tops.
Yeah.
Even with like the extended outros that they usually do with those songs. I remember I went, took my piss, and then I came back and I still like made it before the song was over. And I'm like, that was a perfect freaking piss break song.
Dude, that's perfect.
But yeah, you need to know your songs. Like I imagine like if I was to see Metallica, I think my piss break will be during Nothing Else Matters.
That's a good one, but damn, that's a good song too. My piss break would be during Enter Sandman or
yeah, but things Enter Sandman's going to be towards the end.
Maybe. I don't know. I got to look up their set list now because they did change things up quite a bit. They've been playing a lot of older stuff, a lot of the 80s stuff.
Yeah, I think for Metallica, take it back. It'll be.
But I think maybe you're right. They're either going to open. It's either going to be towards the beginning or towards the end.
Yeah,
because it's just such a hit.
I think for me, my piss break, I'm still going to say Nothing Else Matters, and then the
It's a good long piss break though. That's for sure.
And then which was the other one I was just thinking about, where I'm like, okay, I can skip the song, like
maybe Fuel.
Definitely Fuel. Here I am, turn the page.
Well, the shit, they don't fucking play that live.
No, but just in case, I don't know. I've never seen.
If they fucking live. Cover Seeger, I'm watching that shit. That's a fucking amazing cover.
Or
how dare you?
So yeah,
how dare you slander American songwriter Bob Seger?
Fuel will definitely be a time where I go take a piss.
Yeah.
Saint Anger. No, I'm just
no. They don't even fucking play. They better not even play that shit, dude.
It's not even. It's not so bad once you get over Danny, the freaking snare.
That better be your bathroom break. That's a whole fucking thing, and it's not just the snare. That song stinks. That whole record stinks. I bought it. I can say whatever I want.
Okay, fair enough.
Everyone
I
fucking
have
hates that
ownership.
record. Go ahead. There's YouTube videos of them changing the snare. Songs still suck. It's just
Hey,
easier to listen to.
hey, really quickly though, shout out to our friend Miguel for sending me that meme, which I sent to you
Oh,
about if you can go back in time.
yeah, that's great. I love people that know Cliff Burton, like trivia or info. And he recently, RIP, recently his death anniversary just passed about a few days ago, I believe. I think it's September
RIP,
17th
bro.
or something. I should know that, but
Yeah.
Castro Valley native, Cliff Burton.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Dude,
agree, though. Yeah.
I'm stoked you had a great time, dude.
Yeah, it was fun. I'm glad I went. I'm glad I experienced seeing Slipknot like in their home field.
Yeah.
A lot of white people, and a couple black people,
That's expected.
but a couple Latinos. Maybe they could have been Native Americans. Don't know. See, the problem is it's not that I'm profiling incorrectly. Is that there is a fine line when they're vatoed out, and you can't tell the difference, and you don't want to be wrong, so you just leave them alone. So yeah, I saw a few.
You're not wrong.
But I was in Iowa, dude, and I saw a few
say,
these fools like pulled their pants up and they had Cortezes. I'm like, bro, they got cholos everywhere.
Yeah, we're all over the
so
place,
good.
baby. No, I think also one thing to remember is funny that you're like, I'm not sure if they're homies, vatos, or they're just borderline natives,
Tonto from,
or they just might be from like Riverside or something. Just the white boy vatos.
I didn't know whether to say how or
what? That's racist.
Oh, very ding ding ding.
No, I was gonna say it's funny you say that because I mean technically Mexicans are part natives, so this is why you can't really tell, I guess, sometimes.
No, but you know what I mean, because there is a distinct difference how they look.
Yeah,
but these guys didn't have like the fucking typical Native American nose that it could just be like, oh, okay, chief. So like I didn't know. You know, it was just fun though. I was just kind of looking around, people watching, and it was mostly a lot of corn-fed white people.
Yeah. That's cool, dude. Fuck yeah. I think that'll be super cool. And you know, I was seeing all of this like Slipknot being up in the news recently, and then seeing that tribute that you're talking that they did to Joey and oh wow, went blank.
Paul Gray.
And Craig. Yeah. Paul, I'm sorry. With Paul Gray. I think it was really, you know, I saw them putting up the numbers and stuff like that. But one last thing before we wrapped up this KNOTFEST kind of thing. We need to talk about. I mean, we don't need to, but we're going to talk about.
We have to. You're right.
We have to.
Right.
As fans of Slipknot and pop punk, myself
and as men, and
as men,
we have something to say. We got to get something off our chest.
We have a point to say. What is your whole What's your whole take on this Corey Taylor / Slipknot beef? It's kind of beef, maybe beef,
right.
Beef ? Versus MGK, Machine Gun Kelly.
I love that this is a beef question, and we just got through Iowa, which they specialize in beef. So I'm ready. I heard
their steak is really good out there.
You know, I didn't have the steak, but their pork. It seems kind of stupid, right? But I went for a meatball sandwich. I was stoned. It was really good. I should have just got a steak.
Yeah.
Moving on.
Hey, next time.
Next time. Yeah, next time I'm over in Des Moines. Yeah, fuck. You know, nicer than I thought, though. Really green and hillier than I thought. Not as like...
Really? I thought it was...
There's corn, but it's not...
Yeah.
It's way more dry where I live. It's way more dry and yellow where I live than rather in Des Moines. So...
See, I thought Des Moines was going to be just flat.
Well, Des Moines is flat, but like outside of Des Moines, there's hills and it's kind of cool. And there's rivers and they got lakes out there. It's nice. See, the thing is demographically, it's just culturally, it's just not diverse enough. Like it's just odd.
Yeah,
there's not much to do.
I'm not going to survive there for more than a year.
No, we'd be Uber drivers, dude. Let's be honest.
Yeah,
or we could do this. You know, but like, I like having like a culture. Like California may be like too much for some people, and I understand that, but I do like having the amenities and the culture we have out here. Even the cultural diversity, I should say. Sometimes the culture is questionable. But to go back on that,
diversity though.
Yeah. So I kind of I kind of did a little research, just following it along, nothing deep cutting or anything. But it was just kind of, it does sound like, I think we mentioned this before. I believe Corey Taylor did kind of draw first blood.
I believe at the show, he kind of talks shit about artists that changed their sound to make records.
Right. Which, but I don't know. I think he was a little more, I don't think he was quite that vague. I think he was a little more descriptive, kind of saying like going from one genre to the next when it doesn't work type thing. Which is spot on, by the way. It's kind of like poking the fire, right? But I think he already kind of knew, because here's the thing. Machine Gun Kelly already, before any of this happened, he already beefed with Eminem. Eminem dissed him. He fucking left hip-hop. That's the joke with that. But then after that, at the VMAs, he also got into some bullshit with Conor McGregor.
Yeah.
So this dude's just clout chasing. This dude's straight up just trying to make headlines. He's like, this is my take on it. My music sucks. Like, I actually didn't mind his rap. I actually thought his rap was cool. Whatever. You're a hood white boy. Like, that's tight. I didn't mind Yellow Wolf. I know a lot of people are gonna be like, typical white guy. Like, yeah, well, some white rap's all right. But I liked it because he was kind of ghetto. Whatever, he did his thing. He didn't seem fake, and he still doesn't seem fake in that area. But it's funny that I think he's way more fake, even though you could say racially more fitting in a pop punk genre. But it's not even just, okay, so everyone thinks, oh, pop punk's easy. Yeah, well, pop punk's so easy, Machine Gun Kelly can't do it, right? So have you heard his music?
Let's put this, the only reason Machine Gun Kelly was successful in it is, first off, look who produced your fucking album and who's drumming in your album.
And that was all after, by the way, he did the Motley Crue movie.
Yeah.
And that was also after Travis Barker, by the way, has been collabing with people outside of hip hop for a while, because he originally started doing it with Yellow Wolf live.
Yeah.
I believe he played drums for Yellow Wolf live a few times before Yellow Wolf went kind of country. And we were talking about that too.
And then even with like the Transplants.
Yeah, because he kind of hooked up with the dudes from Rancid, right?
Rancid and Skinhead Rob. And then of course he did like with his solo album, Can the Drummer Get Some? Like, if you ever listen to that, it's just a bunch of like all his friends, like all, even Corey Taylor comes on an album in that, and he and Travis does a more heavier metalish hard rock kind of song with it, just showing how diverse Travis Barker is as a drummer.
Right. But even then, he's not really branching out too much with like the Transplants. It's just definitely more of a branching out with like MGK and like Yellow Wolf. But yeah, anyway, it's just like, I just enjoy. I don't really think so. I don't appreciate MGK's approach. Not that I'm not saying I don't care who you talk shit to, and I don't think anyone really does. I know the people in the video did, but I don't care if you say Slipknot sucks. But I just enjoy the shit you're gonna get when you attack like a group of fans or artists that has been well established for decades, and you honestly think, like, in your dumb, feeble ass mind, that in your stupid Adderall addicted mind, that you fucking are gonna flip a fan base. Like, that's insane to think that you're literally going to go, hey, these 50-year-old, at least I'm not a 50-year-old man wearing masks. And then to just be like, so what do you guys think about blah, blah, blah? But it's like, dude, you made clickbait, but now you seriously took people that could have been your crossover genre like clicks. Not that I'm saying Slipknot fans are into the music he makes, but who knows? Maybe you just took all those people. They got a lot of fans. You took all those people, and they're gonna fucking hate your guts. Yeah. And Slipknot fans are I'm not gonna say they're insane and scary, but they're very loyal. So it's like,
I like that.
Good luck with that, dude. Good luck with that.
Yeah.
You pissed off a whole lot of people, which is a really dumb thing to do when you're crossing into a rock genre and you're pissing off, because so many Slipknot started as a very extreme kind of metal band to the point where back when we were in high school, they were like looked at like almost death metal. Like they weren't death metal, but they had the image and scariness of death metal. Now I feel like it's a lot more mainstream and a lot more accessible. So it's a little silly to just be like, yeah, I'm not going to like, I feel like there's more hard rock fans that are into Slipknot than there were in 2002. I feel like it was more like metalheads. Absolutely. Now it's more like, okay, I could listen to Five Finger Death Punch and Slipknot. Not that I like Five Finger Death Punch, but that's what I'm saying. Like those people are your people. So it's like you fucked up. But I did enjoy watching the videos of people treating him how they should have treated him. So I have no problem with
booing
it.
him and shit.
I just don't want him to like I want everything he got out of this is what I wanted, because it's like, it's okay to chase attention sometimes to help you out. But if that's your only formula for success, I want you to eat 1,000 dicks, like right now. Like you don't deserve success.
Well,
you're chasing it in the wrong way.
Now, I didn't have a problem with the MGK album. I have heard it several times because some of the songs are really, really catchy. And as a fan of pop punk, I'm like, all right, it's definitely more on the pop side. And that's kind of something I hate with all these artists that are coming out saying, oh, pop punk, pop punk. It's definitely more pop than punk. Right. And I think like if you go back, bands like Blink-182, Newfound Glory, Good Charlotte, Sum 41, so on and so forth. They were definitely pop, but you can tell where the punk rock was, and is more lenient towards the punk rock, but more melodic. Right. But anyways, that's besides the point. I just thought it was funny that MGK comes out and he says, "Oh, Corey Taylor is just pissed off because I said, oh, he can't be in my album because I didn't want his ass in my album." And so Corey was like, I didn't want to get involved with this shit, but no. What happened was I did Travis as a favor, asked me if I was willing. I tried it out. I did what Travis said he wanted me to do. And honestly, I sent it back and I told Travis that I was not interested. He's just said, I'm not your guy. I'm not feeling this. I'm not your guy. I think you're better off finding somebody who's going to be more sincere towards the project.
Yeah, that's fair.
So best of luck to, he's like, best of luck to you, Travis. I love you. And best of luck to MGK. Travis, whatever you need me, I have your back.
Oh, so that fool was just hella butthurt and embarrassed. And you know what? He could have turned that into a learning point, been like, cool, he wasn't into this song, but maybe in a year or two, when I put out another track, I can come up with a song that's fitting, a little more fitting for him to jump on, instead of jumping down his fucking throat and treating it like this threat.
Yeah.
Like, don't burn the bridge, dude. Stop being a child.
Well, I think that's where it ended, but now he brought it up. And so Corey Taylor's such a freaking millennial like we are. Yeah. He never deletes his emails. So he just legit just he just screenshot the emails that he sent to Travis and post them online. I'm like, all right, who's fucking lying? Here's the email that I sent to Travis Barker. I'm like, where I said I didn't want to be a part of this project. So, and now, of course, MGK just looks dumb because everything he ever said just freaking collapsed.
Well, that's the thing. So it's still just that formula of I'm clickbait. So there you go. It was debunked again. You're just clickbait, dude.
For what it's worth, he does have a new track, MGK, called Paper Cut, which is very like grunge kind of style. It's not bad. Like I'm not sure if I'm gonna flip your review.
Probably not. And I don't even think he wrote his own music.
Nah, I think I agree with you on that one.
That's what I mean. So why do I want to listen to some radio, like some fucking some agent who made this album because he thought all these pop girls are gonna dig it, and that's all it is. It's sex appeal. It's pop, like you said. There's hardly any punk to it. So they just got some like top 40 bullshit with some like riffs and a drum beat, maybe a breakdown. Yeah. Oh, But I mean, like, I've heard it. It's just like, yeah, it's music, but it's, I don't know.
You
Just stay in your
is
lane.
it is music because it's good music, just like we listen to like NSYNC or Backstreet Boys now, and we like, okay, like it's listenable, we like it,
Yeah.
we can tolerate it, but it's not, it doesn't come from the heart.
No. But even that is like, that's their wheelhouse. That's what they did, right? It's like, dude, you already had like a thing you were doing and you kind of fucked it up.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't that you like, oh, I left it. Like, no, you burned a bridge and then decided I'm going to fuck trying to fix it. I'm just going to like start something new, which is also super immature. Yeah. It just seems like, I hate to say this, but it seems like this guy just has had it way too good since he like started doing his music shit, to the point now where he just feels like he deserves it. And it's like, dude, you've only been a household name for like a few years, like
maybe a year,
not even a decade.
Since maybe doing the dirt.
Well, that's what I mean. Like, I'd give him some credit to. No, you're right. Like, that's when he was mainstream. But like, you know, even when he was doing his rap, it hasn't even been 10 years. Honest, you know.
To be honest, I didn't really hear his verse or anything until he came out and tried this Eminem, and that was like what, maybe 2 or 3 years ago tops.
I don't get what you were thinking with that either. You know, it's like, learn from someone. Bust their balls if you're homies with them, for sure. But to just go at it like, I want to attack the best. First of all, it's a classic shitty villain in a martial arts movie. They always want to fight the best sensei. And you know they're going to lose because they have that anger going against them. And it's just like, I've seen this a million times, dude. Get the fuck out of here.
See Rocky 3. That's what I'm saying. See Rocky 3.
See Rocky 3. See. Literally, this villain is in every Karate Kid movie. He's also in that movie Sidekick with Chuck Norris and the kid from Neverending Story that I just rewatched recently.
Oh, really? With a trait? Hey, Neverending Story is such a great movie.
I still have not rewatched that, but it was the same kid from Neverending Story in that Sidekicks movie. Do you remember that movie Sidekicks with Chuck Norris?
Yeah,
it was about a kid.
It's also this.
The kid like daydreams a lot.
Fantasy world or something. Yeah,
and he always thinks he's gonna fight with Chuck Norris. And
so the kid from you're not referring to the Neverending Story, the first one. You're referring to like one of the remakes, like 2 or 3.
I'm referring to the first one. It's the same kid. It's the same actor.
Is it?
Yeah.
Because I thought the kid from Psychic was the kid from It.
Yeah, it's the same kid. He's in It. Kid? He's in It, the miniseries. It's the same kid. That's a Neverending Story kid.
Okay. I didn't know that.
I think he was just youngest in Neverending Story. That's probably why. And oldest in the movie I'm talking about, and middle is It miniseries, because I think that was like 86 or something. Or they all happened at the same time. But either way, same kid. He was in like a bunch of shit in the 80s. But no, it was interesting. It was super corny. The bad guy was just, over the top, wanted to kill Chuck Norris. And you knew he wasn't going to do it. He's not going to beat him up. That's what I mean. Like, you're just a stupid, lame B fucking, like a butthole B fucking villain. Like, get out of here, dude.
Yeah.
You suck. And I watched The Dirt. Yeah, I know everyone thought it was great because it's Motley Crue. I like Motley Crue a lot, and I love Tommy Lee.
Yeah.
The Dirt was okay. It was okay. I know. I sound like a hater. Right. It has nothing to do with the Slipknot hate, dude. I love Slipknot, but I don't have that much loyalty towards music, or towards bands, I should say, because people, if they want to look like idiots, they should be allowed to look like idiots. And him talking the shit he did, even before he sent those emails back, everyone knew MGK was a retard. Everyone knew he was being stupid. It's like, you're just chasing attention, dude. Not a fan of his choices lately. I know there's a lot of people would say, oh, Conor McGregor's the same way. Yeah, but Conor McGregor's a fighter. He taunts people.
He
That's
built
nothing new to the
his-
fighting world.
He
That's nothing
built
new to the
his-
fighting world.
He built his career on fighting. At least he can back it up.
Yeah, and that's part of fighting. He's selling the match. Like Muhammad Ali used to do it. Joe Frazier, all of those guys did it. Sonny Liston, they all had to sell the match, so it was hype. So that's why he does it. But you're just a fucking musician, dude. Not quite the same thing. Like you know what I mean? It's just strange. He watches too many movies.
I feel you.
Maybe his own movies.
So I feel you on that one, dude.
Yeah, so enjoy. I don't know who's he dating right now. Is he dating? Oh, he's dating Megan Fox.
Megan Fox.
That's right.
Oh God, what the heck was that?
Uh-oh.
Hold on. What was that?
Porno alert. No, I'm just kidding.
No,
it sounds like the news.
Acting weird. No, but dating Megan Fox.
So he's dating an older lady. Okay, it's fine. We're not even going to get into that. I feel like we touched on it enough.
Yeah.
Gave him plenty of attention.
There, you happy?
Yeah.
Kelly?
Yeah, MGK.
Mr. Machine?
Shout out to Cleveland. No, I'm kidding. The Browns are doing good.
Browns are doing good, actually.
Let's jump in. Right before we get in, they are ranked number 2 in the league. The current standings,
insane.
Based on talent, they're saying, and like, I mean, not schedule, but like record, and it's only 3 games in. Let's not be crazy, but we'll see. No, they're doing really good, and they're all around balanced. Cleveland's so fucking cursed, so that nothing's gonna happen. Let's destroy that dream right now, and then move on to our dreams. This subject for this week: what are dreams? And I thought this was going to be a fun topic because it's something none of us will truly ever really understand, even though we all kind of have a good grasp on it.
Yeah.
They're super open. We kind of know what they are and we kind of don't. And then we kind of don't know why they happen and we don't know how we can get back to them. So we're kind of going to jump into that. But real quick, real brief thing. Dreams are like stories and images that our minds create while we sleep. Just the real basic gist of it. They can be entertaining, fun, romantic, sometimes disturbing, frightening maybe, and even bizarre. And they most oftenly occur during REM sleep, which is interesting because REM sleep only makes up a quarter of our sleep cycle every night. Which you got to think, if you get 8 hours of sleep, you're only sleeping for about 2 hours REM. Which is funny because REM sleep is active sleep and restful sleep.
Yeah, that's when your brain gets like the energy it needs or whatever to like regroup itself or whatever.
That's when I think I am doing some heavy petting with a nice actress.
Yeah, well, it's really, if I remember from psychology classes a long time ago, that's like the deep stage of sleep, and it's basically because you go into sleep cycles, right? And REM is like the last part of the cycle, and then it starts all over again, and then it goes and goes. And yeah, you said it makes up about 25% because I believe to get like a full like rested sleep, your body needs to go through the cycle 3 times.
Well, I didn't even know that.
Sense. If I remember, I don't know. It was psychology classes from like hella years ago. I can't fucking remember.
Well, I know if you multiply that by 3, you get like, I get that. But I don't honestly know the breakdown of I don't know if there is a breakdown of how much REM we need. I just know we do need it in some way, shape, or form to get rest. But I don't know if they've actually broken that formula yet. But who knows? Maybe in the future.
Now, Coop, can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Do you know what REM stands for?
I do.
Oh, what is it?
I was hoping to think of the band names definition, but I know it's the boring one is rapid eye movement.
Right.
But
I can't remember what the other
I don't
one,
remember
REM.
I don't think the band is rapid eye movement. They might be.
I don't know. All I know is that that's them in the corner.
Yeah, or the Man in the Moon goofing on Elvis.
Yes.
God, I'm not a biggest REM fan, and I think my favorite REM song, and the only reason I like it is because of Independence Day, End of the World.
Yeah.
It's one of the catchiest ones.
I also like it because of Tommy Boy.
Yeah.
I know they sing it.
Yeah, you can't ever go wrong with flashing back with the good old Chris Farley.
And good old Dave.
Oh, yeah. David Spade and Chris Farley.
David Spade, yeah. Classic.
Perfect.
All right.
So that's what dreams kind of are. And then, and then I wanted to get into why we dream. This one gets a little more gooey, if you will. But a lot of it is representing unconscious desires and wishes. So now I think this is also relating to maybe fears as well. So it could be unconscious woes. So it's desires, wishes, but I want to add fears and anxiety. You could be really stressing about specific things, all day long. And or maybe just right up until when you're winding down for the end of the night, you kind of do this whole like, oh, how was my day in my head? I think everyone kind of does that. Little brief review, and you just kind of like, and maybe something brings it back and you get a little agitated. Well, sometimes that agitation or emotion you feel right before is definitely influencing your brain while you're sleeping, which is a big part of the reason why you're seeing similarities in mood and tone in your dreams. Like, for example, if you're feeling really sad and sorrow because of something that's happening to you, you're most likely not going to have a happy-go-lucky dream. It might not be a scary one, but it's not going to be a feel-good.
No. And I know exactly, and I think it's very interesting that you put, or that when we were investigating this, that we saw that it's a representation of unconscious desires or wishes, or in a sense, your brain telling you what the truth is, even though you choose to ignore it. Does that make sense? Like, or sometimes like,
yeah, it's like revealing the hidden truth, you might say.
Yeah, because I definitely let me get personal really quickly, if you don't mind. I remember while I was going with it when I was going through it, and reminiscing, why I was such a failure and all this shit.
Right.
And I remember like there was like I had like 2 or 3 dreams of my ex, and her family. And this is where, and we kind of gonna talk about this on the next episode.
Right.
But this is kind of where I started looking into like, can you actually like, your spirit leaves while you're sleeping and it goes into different realms and stuff. Mm-hmm. Because I remember having like a very like vivid dream that I visit my ex and her family is there. Mm-hmm. And the first time I dreamed it, I was saying goodbye to the family.
Yeah, that's strange.
Like I was saying,
and this was before you. This was before you guys broke up, or this was after already.
No, this is after.
Oh, okay.
This was already after. This was already after. This was like a couple of weeks or months after. So I remember going to family and saying my goodbyes and thank yous, for being awesome, whatever. And then several days later, I still remember the dream, but towards the end of the dream, I'm getting to my car and I see my ex. And I'm like, hey, if I would have known you were here, I could have walked to your car. And she's like, no, that's fine, blah, blah, blah. And it was just kind of like catching up. And I remember her saying, like, hey, you have to let me go. You have to let me go. Like, this is where it ends. Like, you have to let me go. And I remember like she walked away, and as she was walking to her car, and it was a very dark like alley or street, whatever, a residential street. And as she's walking away, she kind of just like disappears into the night, if you will, but not like in a scary thing,
right?
In the sense, she just disappears. And I remember getting in my truck and just like waking up and just and that's when I reacted like, okay, you know what, it's time for me to like move on. It's time. Like that was my
closure,
my closure, if you will. I'm like, hey, this happened, and it's interesting for me that it happened like 2 or 3 days back to back. Like first time I meet the family, I say my thank yous and my goodbye, and then the next time is with her, and same thing. She's like, hey, you have to let me go. This is it. Now, like this is where.
Now, random question relating to the family.
Yeah.
In your dream, Was it literally the family, or was it a little off and it was kind of the family, but it was just kind of a skewed version?
No,
Or
and
was
I
it just to the
remember
T her family?
it was her family because I remember her mom was there.
Yeah.
I remember hearing her mom talk, and her
Dang.
sister was there
Wow.
also.
It's really
Um,
vivid.
yeah, and I remember she was there, and my ex was there, but I really didn't talk to her. I remember I came in like, no, I just want to say something to your family. I came to visit them, not you. And I'm like, hey, just want to let you know, thank you for for being cool with me this whole time. Unfortunately, things didn't work out, but you know, it is what it is. I just want to say thank you and appreciate y'all for your
Mm.
time and whatever. And then I remember leaving, and then the following one, and it's weird because I feel like, yeah, it is like your brain unconsciously telling you it's time. There's
Yeah.
closure. It's time to move on.
Right. Well, and that's what I was thinking. Definitely from that, it's your body and your mind are like, all right, he needs to get this shit. He needs to stop. So they're like, we'll help him
Yeah.
out. Say
Yeah.
goodbye, But that's funny though. It's like you kind of had unfinished business,
Yeah.
in a
Yeah.
way. Which and it makes sense. It was kind of like your subconscious. Um, the other one is interpreting random signals from the brain and body during sleep. So I'm guessing what that means is, let's just say maybe you ate a sandwich before, I don't know, maybe 30 minutes before you
Mm-hmm.
crashed. Your stomach is now digesting food while you're actively sleeping. I feel that while your brain is going through sleep mode, which is you seeing and dreaming, your body's going through things. So we all know how our
Yeah.
body affects our mind and they work together. So I could imagine, that would definitely have an effect on how you dream. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but it's just an outside influence, like that's why I think a lot of the times they say, don't go on your phone before you go to bed, because there's a couple
Yeah.
reasons, like the blue light gets you all woke up, and then the other thing too is like you're just distracted. It's good to unwind. It's good to not be with your phone. Also to oh man, to not be with your phone, and then, well, I just drew a blank. But basically, just not eat before you go to bed. I mean, it's just,
Yeah.
don't be. I mean, I do it, but that's because I'm a stoner, and I don't eat a lot for dinner, so I plan my meals
Yeah.
responsibly, I guess,
But
maybe.
I think by that time, because it's not like the first time you do it, I think your body's already used to doing two things at once, digesting the food while your brain's also resetting
True,
itself.
but that doesn't take away the fact that it is affecting your dreams.
That's true.
I think
That's
you
true.
might get used to it digestively, but I think it's still going to mentally impact what you're seeing and what you're feeling. Um,
Right.
but that's true. I mean, a lot of all that is routine with the body. Like if your body gets used to something, then it's not. So that is a good point. Maybe if it is more routine, it might not be as impactful and influential on the
Because
subconscious.
again, going back to my psychology class, I've also they also say that you usually have a hard time sleeping, like going to sleep, dreaming, or waking up in the night because your body's so used to your bed. Like your body recognizes this is where I need to go and rest. So whenever you try to sleep, of course, this never happens to me because I'm always fucking knocking out. But when you go and sleep like at a hotel or you sleep on a new mattress or something, it takes a while for you to get used to that mattress or something because your body naturally doesn't like recognize it.
Yeah. I definitely think that's it, and I definitely think it's, as much as it's physical, I think it may be more mental, because
Yeah.
you're comfortable with that. That's your nest area. You're comfortable. You feel safe. Um,
Well,
but
I think it's like the animal instincts within us that you're gonna
right,
go sleep. You're gonna be in your most vulnerable position, so your body, as a natural defense, like if it's going to do this, it has to be sure that you're in a safe place where nothing's going to hurt you.
Right. I mean that's 100% like exactly what it is. It's like survival. Like it's our, like you said,
Yeah.
it's our instinct to keep us safe. Um,
But yeah, definitely interrupted signals, either because you're eating or you just finished watching something to stimulate your brain
mhm.
before going to sleep, or like your body's just not recognizing where you're supposed to be laying down. So it's definitely interrupting signals, and maybe that's where a lot of nightmares and like very crazy off dreams kind of happen, or
Yeah,
you just waking up in the middle of the night.
yeah, because you're having a bunch of weird thoughts, and like you said, you're not getting restful sleep, which will affect your dreams because you're probably not gonna have too many. Um,
Yep.
this one was the most this one was the most eye opening for me. This I felt like I'm like, wow, I'm actually learned something.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's also consolidating and processing information gathered during the day. So I like to think of that
Okay.
as my way to interpret that would be your brain is managing all the information. At the end of the day, they're doing like a log, and it's saying like, okay, review the information and store the information.
Yeah.
And since we're sleeping, we're kind of peeking at what they're working on, and that's our
Yeah.
dreams. So I think that's part of it too. It's our brain cataloging shit, and we're kind of just spying on it. We're kind of voyeuring it, if you will.
Or you're taking a trip to the factory and looking through the window of your brain cells working, filing your
but
memories.
and I think it kind of plays into what you were kind of saying about, like how we're, our moods before. Well, like it's kind of similar because maybe your memory, like for instance, another example would be like maybe it's like storing a memory. So maybe that day was your wedding day, or maybe that day was you graduating school, or your birthday, your 16th birthday, first
Mm-hmm.
day you got your car. You're gonna maybe dream about it too because you were so like stoked and amped up, but also your brain is storing that shit in long term because that's a super good
Yeah.
memory. So I
Yeah.
think I definitely think we borrow from our memory banks every once in a while with dreams, and that's why we get excited when we see maybe someone from our past, or
Yeah.
someone that we haven't seen in a while, but they're
Or
definitely
when we
float.
dream about them also.
Well, yeah, and the thing is it's all in our brain, and I mean, the way they say we only access 10%. Who knows if that's true? But I agree, it is a fraction. I agree, it's definitely not the full brain. So
Yeah.
that's a cool one. And kind of the last one that is pretty obvious is it's also a form of psychotherapy. So I think
Mm.
it's kind of your coping part of your coping mechanism with certain things,
Mm-hmm.
like maybe your dreams are trying to help you either get through it or just address it, right? So
Yeah.
they're going to remind you about things you don't want, or maybe things you do. It kind of plays into
Yeah.
both. Could be desires and it could be fears. So I think we covered pretty much the pretty good gist of why we dream. I thought we'd
Yeah.
kind of end. I think we'll do a couple. We'll probably start the next episode finishing off some of these common dream themes, and then we'll just finish off that way. But I'm thinking today we'll
Okay.
just round off a couple of these and end it shortly.
All right.
So I went online and I found this article that had like 55 most common dream themes, but these are based on like a case study with 350 people, kind of all different
Okay.
backgrounds, and and it's not a statistics thing, which I kind of enjoyed. I don't want to spout statistics off.
Yeah.
I might on the next episode more, but this is mostly just fun because this is like accounted dream themes that people had that are the most common. So we should be able to relate. We should have some insight, and at the very least, poke and make fun at. So
Yeah.
you should definitely start this based on the first one.
Yeah. Let me start. So number one, or the first one from the 55 most common dreams on themes is school, teachers, and studying.
Uh huh. What do you got to say to
Um,
that about that?
bro, I have so many dreams about like me working, like, like so many dreams, and it's always like, I remember the first one was like, I'm trying to do a lesson, and of course I'm being observed, and like the kids are just going ape shit, like there's just completely out of control, talking, whatever,
Right.
and I'm over here trying to give a lesson, no one's paying attention to me, and I turn to my principals, I turn to the people who are observing me, and I'm just like, yo, throw me a fucking bone out here.
Yeah.
Like, help me with this class management. But they kind of just like look at me and they kind of smile and they go back and write down like their notes or something. And I'm just like, I remember waking up to that and I'm like, fuck, that's like my worst nightmare. And it happens. I haven't done it lately where I'm dreaming and there's like kids misbehaving or something, but I definitely still do dream about like, you know, going to work or like a day at a job or like sternly, you know, reliving a moment or something from school. So definitely do a lot of that. A lot of school and teacher type of interaction.
Nice. I mean,
Let me go.
I like your perspective too, because most people would have dreams about teachers, you know, other kids. Yours is cool because it gives you kind of the teacher perspective, which I feel like is a very uncommon, or not uncommon, but much less common than the typical student teacher dream or experience. Yours is more like teacher student, which in some cases could be a lot scarier. Just for the simple fact that children in dreams are terrifying.
Yeah, 100%.
Unpredictable. You don't know whether they're pure or evil. And it's scary.
Well, if we learn anything from scary stories and scary movies, is that whenever there's a haunting and there's usually spirits, usually demons who pretend to be children, because what's more innocent than a child?
Right.
So get the child in, and then or next less, you know, you have fucking,
or even less threatening. Demon. Right. Like you said, you know, just you'll put your guard down because like you're like, oh, I could take this 6-year-old, and then you find out that 6-year-old's Satan.
Yeah. Then again, if something's possessed, don't bring it to your house.
I'm also gonna say this: if I am gonna fight Satan, I want to fight 6-year-old Satan. I will fuck 6-year-old Satan up. Let me tell you something.
Wait. I want. This is not gonna be. We're not gonna turn this into a political or biblical thing, but I remember somebody told me that back in the days when in Bible times and shit, whatever, a day wasn't necessarily 24 hours like we know it now.
Right.
A day can be like centuries and stuff like that.
Wait,
so you might be thinking 6-year-old Satan in today's world, but maybe that Satan is like 6,000 years old.
Danny, how much Stargate have you been watching lately? You know what I'm talking about? The bad guy? He's a kid? Yeah. So I'm like, what the fuck is he talking about? No, I know you didn't make that up, but I've never really thought of it like that or heard of that.
Yeah.
That's funny. I like it. But see,
I'm just saying, 6-year-old Satan is still,
no, well,
unless it's freaking Damien from The Omen, then you're that's good.
Well, what I'm saying is obviously he's going to have supernatural powers and kill me, but I arrogantly will not be in any fear of a 6-year-old Satan versus like a fucking, you know, like a fucking Minotaur Satan or like even like just an adult version. Like, and also Satan should be a woman because that just makes way more sense. And I don't even need to elaborate.
Your wife will go ahead and let you elaborate on that one later.
I'll let her figure out what I mean by that.
No, I was just thinking, like, I'm laughing over here because I remember that scene from Austin Powers when he goes to outer space and he's fighting Mini-Me.
Oh, yeah.
And Austin Powers, like, he doesn't want to, like, hurt Mini-Me because he's, like, a small person. But, like, Mini-Me's, like, super fucking evil and shit. And even, like,
oh, you bit me.
He throws him against, like, a pole and goes, he throws him against a pole and Austin Powers, like, well, you made me do that.
Oh, he's, like, crying.
Yeah, he's like crying because he hurt Mini-Me.
Yeah.
So that's what I imagine you'll be like.
Yeah, maybe.
You won't want to hurt it because it's like 60-year-old, but like this dude's definitely whooping your ass.
Well, not to be all movie about it, but if he was a smart Satan, he would take the form of my child.
Yeah.
That'd be a hard one.
Yeah.
You know, there's either two options. I'd either cry and do nothing, or I'd be like, now's my chance to finally get let out all the fucking shit I've wanted to with no repercussions.
That stress.
Yeah. Get over here, you little. No, like that's terrible. But no, it's it's just whatever. Being chased or pursued for me, I don't remember specifics on a dream where I was being chased or pursued, but I will say I have had dreams where I'm being chased and I just feel like I'm molasses and I can't go anywhere. That's a common issue I've had when I'm like trying to run away or I'm in fear of something. I'm just like running in place almost, essentially.
Yeah. Running in circles.
Not fun. Don't enjoy that one too much. It's probably one of the scarier ones because you're powerless.
It's funny because that leads up to the third one right here, where I feel they're not, even though the concept might sound fun, but once you're doing it, no pun intended, they're not really that fun. They're kind of scary because, again, I feel like, I know there's going to be one coming up about us being like you dreaming that you're nude or something. But the most common dream is also sexual experiences. And I don't know. I mean, I definitely had some.
I haven't had a bad one.
I don't think I've had a bad one, but it's just like, because I think within like those themes, there's different things going on also.
Yeah, but I will say this about those dreams, and it's going to sound gross. They're very, very, like, you feel good during them.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Like, God only knows what you're doing to yourself in your sleep. But what I'm saying is I'm happy. Who cares how the people in the dream feel? I could care less. I could be Caligula for all I care. But like, no, but yeah, I mean, sexual experiences. By the way, I don't like that. It's super vague. It should be a little more, because even school teachers and studying is more descriptive than sexual experiences. Could be you looking at a grapefruit. I mean, what does that mean? Give us something. Let's add to it. Let's see. I mean, I'm not going to get into details about who I've banged in dreams, but let's just say you've done it. And the common problem with me in the sexual experience dreams is I always wake up feeling like it lasted about 30 seconds. Nothing finished, by the way. And then I can't ever fall back asleep and get back to it.
No, and that's the one thing I wish I can, because I definitely have had nightmares where I go back to sleep and like the same whatever.
Yeah, it'll come fucking back. Yeah.
Yeah, it'll come back one way or the other, but never good ones.
No,
never good ones. No.
The Corona girl is never coming back to my dreams.
Oh, God damn it.
She's lying. And it might be Lyme time. But for her, it's Lyme disease time.
Yeah.
All right, that was bad.
I didn't know where you're going with that.
No one did, and I'm kind of depressed. So I'm going to go to the next one. Falling.
Yeah, we all done that.
Yeah, and I feel like
in our dream and in real life.
One of my oldest memories is a falling dream.
Yeah.
By the way, scary as hell, but when you land, always on a bed of pillow type feeling. Very comforting, very fine. So I don't know if there's weird symbolism to that, but it's always scary in the beginning and comforting and soft at the end.
Well, you definitely have like that gut feeling as you fall down, like the roller coaster gut. And then for me, like, as I'm supposed to make impact, like it slows down.
Yeah.
Like if like life slows down and you really feel like weightless. And I remember thinking in my dream, like, is this how it feels to be dead?
Yeah. I mean, it's very, like you said, weightless. So that's why it feels so soothing. But I don't know. Hopefully it's freeing when you're dead. Not the other way around. But I mean, it's just with falling is interesting because I know there's a lot of interpretations with those ones.
Right.
And it's just so tough to keep up with those interpretations. I feel like the best interpreters of our dreams are ourselves because we know more about
Yeah.
our own psyche and our insecurities than anybody. I mean, you could have a psychologist or a therapist. They still don't know what you're going through like you do. So,
And I mean, at the end of the day, you know what those dreams mean. You know what they represent.
maybe not in a literal sense, but you kind of have a gist of a subject of what's going on, right?
Yeah.
Because I know most people are like, I want to know what this means. And I get that, but they're not saying the whole thing. They're just saying like pieces, right?
Right. Right. And I mean, and even when you look up the meaning of dreams, you only remember like the most powerful part of the dream. You don't remember like every single part of it.
No. And I'm going to jump because we don't have to go in order. But I really like this one, which is a person now dead but alive in your dream.
Yeah.
I've definitely had these, and they were, of course, not after. They were after, but they weren't fresh after. Like I've dealt with death with family members, which is kind of even better. I remember I had a couple dreams about my grandma like a few years back, and it was really nice. It was like very realistic, and it sometimes when I have those dreams that are out of nowhere, because I'm always thinking about my family every day. I do.
Yeah.
But so that's what makes me feel like it's more special and a little more spiritual because every day I'm thinking about it. Why am I not having that dream every day? That makes me feel like there's some kind of out energy. There's some energy out there. There's some kind of weird energy out there that could be my grandma, could be my subconscious. But sometimes it's nice to think that energy or that person's reaching back out to you just to kind of say, I still love you. You know,
Yeah.
you're doing your thing. I'm watching, and that for sure, like the science and the agnostic person and voice in my head wants to be like, no, it's just gas and you ate too much broccoli before bed. But I don't want to believe that. I think it's way more beneficial, and I truly do believe spiritual in that sense. You know.
No, and it's kind of like what I was talking about with you before, how I was talking to my friend and how she believes, and I believe this also, and a lot of like Native American indigenous people believe is that when you dream, your spirit, leaves your body and it visits other people. So if you can do that, yeah, how come different spirits can come visit you? Because I'll tell you one thing, like one of the first people I've ever dreamed, who I knew they were dead, but in my dream they were alive, was my grandfather, who died when I was 10 years old exactly. So you're looking at 27 years ago. He passed away. And I remember dreaming him like maybe when I was a teenager, but it wasn't like I didn't talk to him or anything. I just remember like walking my town in Mexico, and he was outside my grandma's house with his rocking chair, and he's just kind of like rocking back and forward. He kind of looks my way and he kind of just smiles, not like an evil smile or anything, but he just like smiles and he's just rocking. And I remember like in my head knowing like, well, that dude's dead. He shouldn't be there. So I'm not going to get close.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to get close. But I kind of felt like it was like him, like just visiting, like, hey, dude, just want to see how you're doing. How you been. I want to see how you turn out too. And then same thing with my grandma from my dad's side, who passed away about 10 years ago. I remember same thing, dreaming about her. I remember like seeing her, and same thing. And in my dream, I already knew that she wasn't supposed to be there. Mm-hmm. And I remember like telling her in Spanish, like, "Oh, grandma, what are you doing here? Like, you're not supposed to be here. Like you're supposed to be resting. Like, what are you doing here?" And she didn't talk or anything. I remember like touching her arm to kind of like, all right, you gotta go, grandma. Like you're not supposed to be here right now. And I remember like carrying her away or like pushing her away. And when I felt her hands, like they were cold. They were cold as hell. They were stale. Like you just felt like it was a lifeless arm.
Yeah,
that you're feeling.
just rough.
Yeah. And the last one was the last time I dreamt of somebody who wasn't here anymore. It was my uncle who passed away maybe 4 or 5 years ago. 5 years ago. And same concept. Like I see him. I know he's not supposed to, my dream, I know that they're not supposed to be there right now. They're not supposed to be here with us.
Right.
And I just remember, like, they never talk for some reason also, or at least in my dreams. They never talk. They're just there. And I'm always like, hey, what are you doing here? And it's kind of like, they just look at you, kind of smile, but not like a menace, not like an evil smile or anything like that.
Yeah.
They just smile, like saying, hey, thanks, or like kind of like saying whatever, listening to me, if you will, and then they go. So that's been my true experience with dreaming about that.
Yeah, and it's just odd, man. Like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna talk about this one just because it's so random. It's way down there, but so apparently one of the most common dreams is someone having an abortion.
Wow.
Can't say I've had that one. And if I
can't say I
did,
haven't.
holy shit, I completely animated the anatomy different in my dream as well. Because I don't know how a man has an abortion. Unless they're saying maybe I'm dreaming about someone else getting one, which I think would be worse than... Oh, I know the emotional turmoil with an abortion is catastrophic, but I think still watching it in a dream state versus having it happen to me. I know it sounds psychotic because I feel like going through it would be worse, but we're talking about dreams here. We're not talking about reality. Of course, it's worse to go through an abortion than watch one. But in a dream sense, dreams are fucking scary how detailed they can be and shit. So honestly, if it's happening to me, I'm not seeing it happening. It's happening and I'm feeling it, but I'm not seeing it. And in a dream sense, I feel like seeing is worse for me. I'm much more visual than I am sense.
Yeah.
That's a sense that's strong. So, yeah, that's rough, dude. I think I would wake up feeling really sad and cry and then not understand.
Well,
what the fuck's going on? Why I had that dream?
If I was to take this from a set the first thing I thought when I saw you highlight this one about the abortion one was like, okay, well, I wonder what was the percentage of women out of the people they tested or they ran this
that is an interesting and then why were they people that had miscarriages? That's a good point.
Yeah,
that's good information.
Or if like some sort of abortion was like a hot topic at the time, in the news and stuff like that. But yeah, like I've never really dreamed that. Hopefully I never do.
Yeah,
because I wouldn't know how that feels or anything like that. But yeah, like that's a very interesting, like having an abortion, because I don't know. I don't know.
That's
I never
descriptively
experienced that.
Well, that's what cracks me up is we go from fucking sexual experiences, which is so vague, to someone having an abortion, which is so descriptive.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, yeah, okay. I got one in here that's not on the list. And it is one of my recurring dreams that I haven't had in years, but usually, I mean, I've had it my whole life. And it's like my biggest fear dream, which is when I'm stuck in like the Matrix white room, but there's not anything or anyone in there with me. I'm just by myself.
Yeah.
So it's infinite. And it's either infinite, and that's the scary thing about it. It's claustrophobic and infinite at the same time.
Yeah.
Because there's no gauge of depth in an all white like environment.
It kind of reminds me of that scene in Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
Yeah, the TV.
Not only the TV, but as they go inside the chocolate room, I believe they call it, or the candy room.
Yeah.
Like it looks like it's a really deep room.
Oh, yeah.
And and he's like, oh, there's a
And then it
door
gets
here,
short.
and no one can, and just like the perspective of it, and
Yeah.
like not knowing where it starts and where it ends, kind
That's
of like the
scary.
freaking like a room full of mirrors and stuff. Like, yeah, that's very like hopeless.
Hopeless and empty. And I
Yes.
feel like those are my two fears, right? Is being like
Yes.
alone. So then we're going back to
Uh-huh.
last week, but being alone and helpless. Those are two very scary things in
Yeah.
life. Whether it's when you're young and you're in a position like maybe you're James Franco in 127 hours, or it's just reality,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like metaphorical. Either way, it's fucking terrifying in a dream state. I got a question for you because a lot of these I don't relate to, but
Okay.
I'm gonna knock one out, and maybe we'll do this as a question to each other because that'll make it a little more fun. Maybe you can do this on the next one for me. And I mean on the next
Uh-huh.
question, not episode. Have you ever encountered God or a God ever in some form in your dreams, Danny?
I I feel like I have, because that topic does sound familiar. So maybe I have. I just can't
You don't
remember, or
remember
like
any of
some
it,
sort of like supernatural being,
right?
like with some, but yeah,
Because I haven't had that one
yeah,
either.
I don't,
I
I
wish I
don't
did.
have. Well, I mean, in that case, let me ask you this question to you.
Shoot from the hip,
So
bruh.
same question. You said that you don't think so. At least you can't remember. But seeing an angel.
Oh, now I don't think I've seen an angel, but I would imagine
Mm-hmm.
since most of the time angels are pretty much sometimes maybe someone in your past, could be like maybe
Okay.
an aunt, your mom, maybe a grandmother. Um, I haven't
Mm-hmm.
seen a literal one where the point where I'm like, oh, you're an angel. Um,
Yeah.
no, I wish I have, man. Because you know what's weird, dude, is I have very like I am so jealous of people that have these crazy dreams or even shitty ones. But I don't dream a lot, and I know I do, and I think I just don't recall them. But
Okay.
ever since I've been smoking the weed, which is about 2014, my dreams,
Ever since I've been smoking the weed.
yeah, my dreams have been like off and on, but mostly off. And it's strange because I get super restful sleep, which you would think REM sleep, once again, is the dream sleep, also your restful sleep. Because I wake up feeling great. Like every night, that's my routine. I put myself in a state where I'm drooling. No, no, I put myself in a state, though, where I'm tired, and I fall asleep easier because otherwise I'll be up till 2 or 3 in the morning every night, either thinking or wanting to do something. So weed kind of helps me control
Mm-hmm.
my routine. Um, and but what it does though is it also kind of absolves my dream recall, because I really I know because even people in articles have said this. It's like we have like 4 or 5 dreams and we can only recall like one or two, right? Um,
Yeah.
but for me, I know I'm not. I know I'm dreaming. I can't recall any. It's very rare unless they're like some kind of I mean, I've had some fucked up nightmares, but
Oh, dude, 100%.
but I don't. But even nightmares, I don't get nightmares. I don't really dream. I wish I dreamed more. But that's also why. And we're gonna touch on this a little bit on next week. A little bit why lucid dreaming is so important. And to try and
Yeah.
harness that, because I've looked into it, and man, I've had my moments where I'm like, this is bullshit. This is fucking some weird Eastern medicine crap. But I don't know. I believe it. I just think, like everything else, it takes time to really get good at it and to
Well,
discipline your mind, and you know.
I think also we're very spiritual people. So
Yeah.
that's why we're like at first we're like, no man, it's bullshit. But after a while, you're like, I don't know, this can like I
Yeah.
think we don't accept things for what they just give us at first. We like to kind of make our own investigation, and then like we like that people bring up that that point of view or perspective to us, and then we take upon ourselves to kind of like look into that. And that's when we're like, at first, we're like, it's bullshit. And then you kind of like, well, let me look into it. And then you're
Yeah.
like, I don't know, maybe they're right. We make our
Yeah.
own like decisions,
Right.
or we make our own assumptions.
No, yeah, I definitely agree with that. This one's creepy, dude. So vividly sensing, but not necessarily seeing or hearing a presence in the room. Have you ever had a dream like that?
Oh,
That's
no,
fucking
fucking
terrifying.
scary, dude.
That's more terrifying than the abortion dream.
Like sensing somebody seeing you, but you can't see him.
But not necessarily seeing or hearing. So it's like you just you got a energy. That's terrifying. Because how do you escape that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's just it kind of like as you were saying it, in my mind I'm picturing like you're walking through like a jungle. And it's just so dense, and you can feel like you just know there's a presence of like an animal just like stalking you all the way, and you know they're gonna attack any moment, but you don't know from which direction or anything like that.
Right.
So it's kind of like that sixth sense. But yeah, oh man, I never really felt that. My nightmares definitely like I definitely seen something, or something's haunting me or trying to get to me, but never like feeling it, sensing it, but not necessarily like seeing it or hearing it.
That's some deep shit, you know?
That's some deep shit, dude. Hell yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, that is
I'm
rough.
seeing one also a little bit. I'm seeing like 3 of them a little bit higher, saying seeing a face very close to you.
Yeah.
That's fucking scary, bro.
That's terrifying, and it reminds me a lot of like Phantasm. Have you ever seen those movies?
Yeah.
Do you remember that part where he falls asleep and then he looks up and the tall man's floating above his bed?
Yeah. Yeah.
Just screaming at him.
Yeah.
But he's like right there. That shit fucking terrifying. Like, I still to this day don't like having my eyes closed and then just opening them, because I'm always just like, I'm going to open them and something's going to be right in front of my fucking face. And they never is, but there's always that level of uncertainty, like, this is the day. This might be the time something freaks me the fuck out. So that's one of my biggest fears, especially since I don't have a strong fear of the dark, but that's a big part of why I'm scared of the dark, is just what if something pops out and is like freaky and wants to be like,
that you don't know.
You know, classic jump scare type shit.
Well, just touch on that a little bit, maybe, because I was thinking also like going back to us being super spiritual, like, so I strongly believe that the more spiritual you are, the more spirits are attracted to you, or more spirituality, or energy is attracted to you. So from what I've understand from the occult and like ghosts and all this stuff, is that they're all around us. You know, all these energies are around us.
Just whether or not you can see them.
So sense it or see them. So it might be that they fed off your energy so much that when you're super close to their face, that's just like a peek into the realm, into that realm or something, to the multiple realms. Because I also believe that there's multiple realms surrounding us at many times.
Yeah.
You know?
That makes sense. I mean, because, it's not like, like, I don't think we're smart enough to make that up. Like, it's smart. It's groundbreaking that he came up with it, but I feel like he came up with it because it exists, not because he just fucking Stephen Hawking decided to take some MDMA before he wrote in his journal that night. You know what I mean? I feel happy. No, I don't know. Give me water. I don't know. I really want to know what Stephen Hawking was like when he was rolling on Molly. You know what I mean? That would be fucking awesome. Literally rolling. He'd be out of his chair just end over end. I'm just kidding.
Rolling.
Yeah.
Oh God, we're going to hell.
Yeah, well, save a spot for me, big boy. I'm just kidding. There's so many random ones. This is kind of a fun one, and it's not so. This one I definitely understand being common, being a child again. Now this could be even a flashback. Maybe it's like a trip down memory lane type dream, like, oh, I'm in middle school. I've had stuff like that, but not where I was like I was me. It wasn't like I was some random kid. I've never had that dream.
Yeah.
Where it was like more of a memory than it was like some weird, I'm now a 12-year-old boy in Bangladesh. I haven't had that dream yet.
Yeah.
I don't know if I want it.
Well, also, I feel like your dreams they're also based on your own reality. So, why would you be a 12-year-old? But yeah, being a child, I think I would interpret. I have not seen what's the meaning of all these dreams or anything like that. Being a child again, I feel like you yearning for like changing certain aspects of your life.
Yeah.
Like resetting your life. Like I always say this, if I can go back to high school, although I wouldn't change anything in my life right now, if I can go back to high school, and go back to redo everything that I know now, dude, my life would be so freaking different.
It's funny you say that too, because I was just telling Steph how in high school I tried out for the football team, and I'm not athletic. I even if I stayed with it, I had no fucking future. But what I told her I wanted to do was I wish I would have stuck it out to be on the team, and not because it would give me an athletic edge in my future, solely just because I feel like it would have helped discipline my drive better. And I wouldn't have been as scared to challenge myself and put myself in a situation that I was unsure of, because then I could have applied being on a football team and getting to the football team and earning it as as an actual fucking thing. So I think that's important, but I think it's getting a little late. I think we're going to wrap up this week with dreams. We're going to jump right back into a lot of the common themes. And then we're going to finish off with why they're hard to remember and a lot of steps and some steps you can take to remember dreams. And then I think Danny's going to touch in on a couple of personal experiences he's had with dreams and breaking down whether they're real or some scientific explanation can give us some closure or some kind of insight.
Mm-hmm.
But for now, that's all we got for you guys this week. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks, Danny, for joining me on this little escapade in our dream world. But hopefully MGK doesn't do anything between now and the next episode. But,
When we record again?
Yeah, that guy needs to have a dream.
The saga.
Yeah, that guy needs to have a dream of keeping his mouth shut. Who knows? Yeah, we will definitely continue the saga, and hopefully we'll have a lot more insight on some of these wacky little themes here. Some of these are goofy, but I'm enjoying them. So thanks for tuning in, and thanks for joining me, Danny, and we'll see you guys all next week.
Bye, y'all.
Later.
Recording stopped.
There we go, Sheila.